Will the Marvel Cinematic Universe be completely rebooted after Avengers Secret Wars, or will it be a different kind of reboot? And how will mutants enter the MCU after Secret Wars? This video is about exactly that, where some things are becoming clear, but there are still some doubts. Even after Disney's merger with Fox in 2019, apart from Deadpool and Wolverine, we have only seen X-Men characters leading in animated shows, and there's no doubt that it was an awesome show. Technically, Ms. Marvel is the first mutant in the MCU whose mutation was openly revealed. Not only was she referred to as a mutant at the end, but the background music also played the X-Men theme, hinting at it. Other than that, the mutants we've seen in the MCU so far, whether it's Namor or the Immortal Man, had their origins changed in the MCU. Some of you might even be wondering, who is Immortal Man? So how long will Marvel keep name-dropping mutants like this, or only showing cameos of mutants from alternate universes? Like how we saw Charles Xavier and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and Beast in the Marvels. Finally, we have official answers to all these questions. So, without any delay, let's get started. Marvel President Kevin Feige said last November that Avengers Secret Wars, which is coming in 2027, will bring the new age of mutants into the MCU. Based on this, we theorized that the Marvel Cinematic Universe would reboot after Secret Wars, introducing mutants. And if we get to see Kelsey Grammer's Beast, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, that would be amazing. But practically speaking, it wouldn't make sense for mutants to suddenly appear in the Marvel Cinematic Universe without any history or struggles. If that happens, the X-Men story wouldn't have the same depth. Besides, you and I are Marvel fans, but what about those who aren't? For them, it would be confusing to see the X-Men suddenly appearing in the MCU wearing yellow spandex. This is where our theory comes in. The MCU will not be completely rebooted. Marvel has been selectively introducing mutants, so suddenly making them a part of the MCU wouldn't make sense. Even in the comics, when Secret Wars happened, everything returned to normal afterward. There wasn't a major reboot, especially if you look at the mutants story arc, which holds a lot of depth and has a rich history. In fact, to support my point, let me remind you of the ending of Ms. Marvel. Ms. Marvel's powers were already within her. She didn't get them from the bracelet. Even Bruno referred to her powers as the result of a mutation, and we heard the X-Men theme music in the background. This means that mutation was actually a sign of her being a mutant, not an Inhuman. In the comics, Kamala was originally introduced as an Inhuman. Besides that, Namor, who was the first mutant in the comics, also serves as evidence that mutants exist in the MCU. Marvel just hasn't openly addressed them as mutants yet. And if you're wondering why, consider this. Marvel got the rights to X-Men characters from Fox in 2019, so why has only Deadpool and Wolverine been released so far? And why haven't we seen any other X-Men characters in a lead role? Forget X-Men. Tell me, why hasn't Hulk gotten a solo movie yet, even though Disney owns the rights? The truth is, the corporate world operates very differently, especially these major deals, which we had some idea about, but recently, Marvel officially confirmed something. Let me explain. Marvel Studios production and development executive Nate Moore revealed in an interview with Entertainment Weekly that even though Disney acquired Fox in 2019 and X-Men rights returned to Marvel, there was a cooling off period. During this time, Marvel Studios couldn't show X-Men characters in lead roles in any movie or show. But now, that cooling off period has ended. Now, we will finally see the X-Men in the MCU. The groundwork has already been set, especially in Captain America: Brave New World. Now you understand why X-Men characters have only appeared as cameos in the MCU so far. Whether it was Charles Xavier in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, or Beast, Hank McCoy, in the post-credits scene of the Marvels, played by Kelsey Grammer. But you might still be wondering, what exactly happens in Captain America: Brave New World that sets the groundwork for mutants? To answer this, let me share the next part of Nate Moore's statement. He explained that they hadn't addressed the Celestial Tiamut in any show or movie for a long time, because Marvel Studios wanted to handle it carefully and make sure it fit into their storytelling. Obviously, Marvel Studios takes inspiration from the comics, but the Marvel Cinematic Universe is building its own massive storyline. So Marvel Studios had to layer their past events with new developments to create a cohesive and connected story. Hearing this makes me really happy. Even though Marvel's plans have changed, where they are now replacing Kang Dynasty with Doomsday, they have still steered the story in a direction that ties everything together into a bigger arc. Just like they did with Phase 3 and Phase 4, we didn't get much information about adamantium in Captain America: Brave New World, except that it's even more versatile than vibranium. But Nate Moore revealed that an early sneak peek showed that the Serpents had adamantium daggers that could damage Captain America's vibranium suit. However, after reshoots, the scene remained, but the daggers were no longer made of adamantium. There were also rumors that adamantium could absorb gamma radiation, which Captain America would use to defeat Red Hulk. I even covered this in my Marvel Completely Changed the Story video. If you watch my Every Detail You Missed in Captain America 4 video, you'll learn that in the comics, it was was the Japanese who first discovered how to experiment involved inserting adamantium into a weaponized body, but no human survived it. As a result, Stryker conducted this experiment on mutants, which led to a successful outcome. The same thing could happen in the MCU, where Ms. Marvel has already confirmed that mutants exist in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However, to activate their powers, they need some kind of cosmic touch. Since Marvel can't make everyone wear Kamala's bangles, this activation could happen through a cosmic surge, which has already occurred 3 times on Earth in the MCU. The first was when Thanos snapped, releasing an unprecedented cosmic energy surge, as Rocket described it. The second and third happened when Hulk and Tony Stark snapped. Now, after Secret Wars, when the multiverse resets, another cosmic surge will occur, potentially causing mutations in humans, leading to the rise of mutants in the MCU. This is just my theory, but I have strong reasons to support it. After the creation of the new universe, mutant powers will start emerging, causing chaos at the ground level. This will lead to the formation of the X-Men, a team created to guide these special individuals. Superheroes may want to help, but they will be too occupied maintaining order. Among these emerging mutants, Charles Xavier and Eric Lancer will rise, one born from humanity's kindness, the other from its cruelty. The formation of Professor X's X-Men and Magneto's Brotherhood is inevitable. Additionally, governments will attempt to weaponize mutants to establish their superiority. Many other conflicts will arise, especially concerning mutant hate, giving the X-Men storyline a fresh perspective. Previously, Fox's Marvel movies explored the human versus mutant conflict, but now the Avengers will also be involved, leading to an Avengers versus X-Men storyline. When Kevin Feige mentioned that the new age of mutants would begin after 2027, he wasn't joking. If you believe that mutants will suddenly appear in the MCU after Secret Wars, then how will all these complex stories be properly presented? Based on my theory, Marvel's next phase will focus on the X-Men and grounded stories, which makes sense. After planetary and multiversal wars, what's next? A new beginning. A new story that will finally give us the true comic book feel, where all Marvel characters coexist. I still remember the excitement when Spider-Man appeared in Civil War. I want to see the X-Men fit into the MCU in the same way. Imagine how the X-Men would have played a role in past MCU events. Since that didn't happen, I have covered these ideas in my comic series. Initially, we all thought the Marvel Cinematic Universe would undergo a full reboot after Avengers and Secret Wars. But instead of a hard reboot, it will be a soft reboot. Most of the MCU will remain as it is, while mutants gradually integrate into the universe. Now, you might ask, what does all this have to do with Tiamut? Well, according to Namor, Captain America, Brave New World has already started laying the groundwork for the X-Men. When mutants finally arrive in the MCU, Tiamut will likely become Genosha, a mutant-only nation. This would also keep adamantium safe and prevent new wars from starting over it. The gamma-absorbing properties of adamantium might even help contain mutants. So the groundwork for the next phase is set. Now it's just a matter of executing it properly. What do you think? Will the MCU undergo a full reboot after Avengers, Secret Wars, or is our soft reboot theory correct? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.